It don't even matter. Look.
It came apart? But I don't mean it's not working.
It wasn't working.
Oh, it wasn't working.
And when I tried to take the case off of it to see what was going on to push the buttons, the whole fucking back came off this bitch. I can't make it up. I can't make this up. I don't even know where that piece came from just now. Because I don't even see a broken part to stick it back on. Dog, y'all, wait a minute. Y'all know them government. Let me hit my blunt off of this. Cause whatever, baby. I gotta. Okay, we talking about this now. I'm gonna get back to my smoking, but you know them little free cell phone, free tablet. Do you see this shit? Do you see this? Like the whole bitch just came apart. The back is in it. This one of them free phone, free tablets. I call myself about to use this to be on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook, be able to comment and talk to you guys. And I literally went to take the plastic this off. I literally was just trying to I went to peel it off, and it just. And then it's this piece. I don't even know where it came from. Free tablets, free cell phones. Free tablets, free cell phones. Free tablets, free. OMG. Okay, wait. Okay, where the other piece then? Because this goes here. Now, one thing, I can put things back together. That's the one thing I do. No, I have a gift and a knack for it, but are you kidding me? Okay, where's this? Is a piece missing? Because if that went there, then the other button is missing. The button to actually power it on. I could at least probably get it to power on if I could find the piece. Aha! Found it. Alright. Look, it wasn't coming on. I was trying to get it to charge. Mr. Ware. Hi, Trey. I'm so happy to see that you're on my side. I hope you're doing well. You've been in my prayers. I hope you haven't tapped out of the video before you got to hear my response. But either way, I'm gonna inbox you and check on you. I'm so glad you're doing a little better. But I send you my love, and I send you my blessings for healing, love. And I'm, like I said, I'm glad that you joined my life. So let's see if I can get this. It didn't line up. I don't even know if I can get it off. Jade, I need your help. The crazy thing is it came off in the case and now I can't get it off with my hands. It literally came off with the... Okay. This don't make no sense. Shit.
Yeah?
You're right, I got it. I was trying, I thought you might have had something, a wedge tool, or I could take this back off. Okay. There it is. Well, it's two pieces. It's a piece that's, I just put it in there, and now it fell out when I got ready to put it back together. Girl, the whole damn thing came up. Okay. That goes there. That's that button. I just had the fucking Look here. I don't got time for this. These little small intricate pieces that want to get lost or hide up under stuff. And I bet you I'm looking right at it and I can't see it. But I can't turn the phone on, turn the tablet on without that piece. It's the... Jade, you left so quick. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Jade. Jade.
Yes.
Linda Plummer is here. Huh? Bree said hello, Linda. Okay. It fell apart. That's one button. That's the other button. Those are the panels that the buttons was lined up to. So let's see. Start with the opposite side first. Alright, we'll start with the opposite side. Okay. There go the buttons. Now, let's see if it'll cut on because it's blinking right now. It's like blinking. Which means it's a motherboard issue. It might have got wet. It's no cracks in the screen, so it looks like it might have got wet. But it has not been used. It just started to look like it either took an impact or it's gotten wet. So I'm going to leave it on charge for about 10 minutes. And if it is wet, it'll basically fry the motherboard. It will never come back on. But if it's not wet on the inside and it's just doing that because it did get wet prior, it will come back on. So let's see. The digitizer is fucked up at this point though. So, but if it can come back on and be used, that's fine. The digitizer is the screen. Most of you guys, when you crack your screen, you get that black blur. I should show you. That's not a defect in the actual phone. That's your digitizer, which is your screen. And you can always have that replaced, and you'll always be able to reuse any phone that only has digitizer damage because they can replace the whole face. So I'm hoping that that's all it is, because earlier it was just blinking. Now it's staying steady. But as I showed you, the whole thing came apart. So I did not expect that to happen on camera, but it did. So we shall see. But yeah, it's irritating. The whole back came off of this thing. Like, I can't even pull it off now, so I'm trying to understand how did it come off in the first place. But yeah. Alright, leave it on charge for a minute. I'm gonna make a status, or I'll show you guys later, and we'll see whether it works or not. But it sucks. The whole back of my whole tablet just came off. Like, the whole thing just... Don't know. But I was giving you guys some tips. Hi, beautiful! I'm giving you guys some tips on rolling. When you roll a blunt, your blunt should be the same size as the leaf that you take it out of so that you're not smoking paper. Also, how to cut your veins in your leaves. I wish I could show you again or give you a recap, but This right here is an area that was cut for a vein, and as you can see, it's perfectly smooth, as well as this one right here was cut for a vein. And it's to show you guys how to pearl a vein, leaf, so it does not unravel while you smoke it, and also get proper airflow, so that you're not wasting your weed. You get a slow burn, and you're not smoking so much tobacco or paper. The flavored ones are not bad. They're dipped in the liquid or the flavoring that is on it. So it's dark rum. It's dipped in a dark rum. So I'm a fan of Bacardi Gold. So a dark rum would be something like Bacardi Gold. You'll have some that are infused with whiskey, cognac, different things like that. So when they are dipped, that's dipped for flavors so you get your sweetness. And then they let them dry out by air. Just enough so that they are still moist enough to be wrapped. So I choose to go with leaves over cigarillos, and inside of cigarillos and also inside of leaves are what we call the guts. Guts are actually floor shavings. That's why they tell you not to smoke. These are not real cigars. They're really used for wraps. These literally once they get done sweeping the floor at the end of making a nice cigar, whatever the maker is, they use the same sweepings and they put them in your wraps. So let's say if you are a fan like me, I'm a game leaf smoker. But anybody knows back in it about 2-3 years ago, I smoked Garcia y Vegas. And people used to be like, Garcia y Vegas, what's that? That's just a game. But Garcia y Vega, which means Garcia and Vega, Garcia y Vega game lead. They're the makers of the game wraps, because they were called Garcia Vega games. But they also make cigars. So they're high class cigars. Once they get done making those cigars, they come up at the end of the day, and whatever flavoring was in the cigar, or whatever flavoring they want to add, they sweep those sweepings up, and they make a flavor wrap with actual, real, natural, good quality tobacco leaf. I'm not gonna lie, it's good quality tobacco leaf, but they fill it with this filler, which is the sweepings off of the floor, which is why you do not smoke them, and also why you don't inhale cigar smoke. However, cigar tobacco is different. It's different cut, different taste, different moisture, all of the above. So I'm over here in conversations. I'm being nosy. Share this live. Share this live. It should be public, and I hope it is. And I do not know how to change it if it's not right now, other than restarting. And I ain't about to do that. But y'all, I'm so mad. My little tablet came apart. Let me see. Okay. Thank it didn't come apart this time. So, alright. Let's see if it's gonna come on yet. Wish me luck. Nope. Still blinking. Well, we're gonna see. It doesn't matter. I was gonna use it during my live, but I have to wait till I get my other phone back from my homegirl. My baby, she got my phone. I know it's safekeepings. Terrence Lake. Wish you were still here. I'm pretty sure you're headed out, but shout out to you. You are actually they're like an uncle to me. They're my best friend / cousin, uncle, and growing up, he taught me before I began a spiritual journey and different things like that. I was always fascinated with astrology and astronomy. So he was one of the first people who introduced me into going beyond the regular school teaching of constellations, stars, etc., etc. Like, I used to love going to the observatory and watching the stars on the big Superdome and all of that. But Terrence Lake, aka my uncle, showed me at a young age how to define planets from stars. Let me get my light out real quick. I gotta get my light out. I can sit with my light in front of me. If anybody don't know what light is, I'm gonna show you. But he showed me. Well, I get my light out and explain. He showed me how to find planets in the sky, how to know the difference between a planet and a star, what the difference was. Which, as I grew into spirituality and learning, it also showed me if I have the ability to know what planets are visible, when they're visible, and where they're visible, and how it interacts with our frequency. I was never taught even how to find or define that or what or when a planet is visible. I wouldn't know or be as far as in my craft. So it was like something that was ordained, and I'm blessed to have learned that. Like the other night, there were 4 planets visible. There, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars were all visible. On the 2nd was where Venus and Jupiter actually were crossing. So if you've seen these 2 bright stars, one was huge, one was tiny. Those 2 stars were orbiting, and they were extremely close enough for us to see. And at one point between the night, they crossed, which lets us know things moves very, very, very different. We move circular, but we move on axis. I say axle, like a car. Lord have mercy. And if anybody knows, we are shifting. That our globe does not spin around. Our globe spins sideways. If you ever looked at a globe in school, you notice that the globe sits sideways and spins. But we continue to move and shift. And as we shift, each of those shifts they also line up with the zodiacs and the months, because we don't realize or know that they align. So for a certain amount of thousands of years, we remain in a specific zodiac. However, we shift yearly, slowly. So right now we're moving into the age of Aquarius. So we have made a major shift. You have to, everything is getting warm. The earth is warm. Yeah, we have storms, ice storms, but realize these last few years, our winters have been very warm with extreme days of cold, and then our summers have been hot, but with extreme days of extreme heat, but not the entire duration. That shows a shift. Secondly, we have those extreme hot days because the things that are beneath us are now heating up because we have moved. So the tectonic plates, it look like you want to do something, y'all. Tectonic plates and the gravel and our core are all softening. So if you have tectonic plates, what happens when tectonic plates move? Volcanoes, sinkholes, shifting of your home. I think it's coming on, y'all. Shifting of the houses. If you notice houses leaning, plumbing issues. Plumbing issues come from that. Don't think that you might have neglected this home or something, or you might have, comes from that. It's not global warming. Like they want to say, like it's just something that we're doing. This is something that's going to happen, change. And notice if we would have sinkholes in India, where you would see videos of Chinese in China. They have sinkholes in some parts of Atlanta and in California. But now you have sinkholes in Michigan. You have sinkholes in Midwest. And it came on, y'all. It came on, y'all. I fixed it. Anyways, you got sinkholes in places that are normally not plagued with this. And we think, oh, Michigan brothers and roads. No. A sinkhole happens when there's a shift up underneath it. Up underneath the ground. So it's an air pocket that's pushed there. And guess what? Whatever's above it, if there's nothing below it to support it, it's going to do it. Sink. So it's a sinkhole. Now, not only that is a part of it, but you got to realize, like, y'all ain't been paying attention, but the rainforest is still on fire. Did y'all know that? 20% of the world's oxygen production is still on fire right now. 20% of the world's oxygen production is still on fire right now. Not to mention, nobody told you guys about the entire village that was decimated in Canada. A whole entire village. Like, oh, you can say Hamtramck or Highland Park or Detroit, a city or a village, but the entire village decimated, top to bottom, no beginning, no end. It's gone. A whole village of people, a whole city, and it was actually a city. It wasn't a village, it was a city, just outside the border of Washington. Now, what's crazy is that they never said anything about it, and I want you to go look this up, because I'm going to give you if my tablet come on, I'm going to give you the exact name of the location, so you can look it up for yourself. But this village was about 40 miles away from Washington's border, spreading through towards the United States. So it was coming from Canada, going through Canada's little national park forest area, straight into ours, directly into ours. And they said nothing. Had that fire had spread to our national park, because it was connected to a national park, Washington would have been on fire. But they said nothing. Almost no one knows about this. At the same time, while 20% of the forests in California are on fire. During the summer, their heat wave is extremely so hot that we lost 10,000 cattle. So you wonder why prices of beef and all of these things are higher. A lot of people have lost their agriculture and their livestock due to the heat and the climate change and the different things that are happening within this universe. Ain't nothing nobody can do about it. Yeah, we can say that the government's playing with the weather. That's believable. I ain't gonna say they're not. But I'm not gonna say that's the only thing. Understand that we are going through a global change, and it has to change. But I want you guys to notice this change as an awakening. Don't look at this change, oh, the world's come to... No. The world is changing. The earth is changing. Different areas are going to have different climates. I'm not a super Christian person, but I was raised within that aspect. However, I'm spiritual. Those books are giving you information. They're not your guide or your stronghold or everything you stand on. They're just knowledge for you to utilize, and you speak and ask for the wisdom to know how to decipher what you're supposed to use within them. But it talks about, what you about to do? Okay. It talks about a point in time where we're going to be living where seasons are not going to match up. We didn't need no Jesus or nobody to tell us that, to be honest. Our ability to understand our climate, the way we move and rotate, tells us that at some point the climates are going to change. It's going to be a shift. That there are going to be different things that happen in different areas that didn't happen before. You have to think about the fact that if you can't believe that, and if you don't believe that, make it make sense. I'll put it in perspective. And let me get my light out. I never got my light out. So I'm getting my light out. This is my light. Uh-oh. One of them went somewhere. But this is my light, you guys. They're my crystals. Now, back to what I was saying. When you shift as we are, understand that this is a normal thing. This is not something abnormal. This is not something we don't know about. This is just something that is kept from us, that they allow us to be oblivious and ignorant to, because ignorance is bliss. So we live in our lives and like, this is this is what it's supposed to be. We're content with that. That's what blissfulness is, the ignorance of the other and not understanding these other things. Now, I digress to the simple fact that I said we change and it's ever changing, and this is nothing new. It's nothing new that we're warming up in different areas and we're cooling down in other areas that were never cooler. Take note. Factual evidence, and I want you to go look it up. There are literally woolly mammoths, which has been named or deemed not real, found completely encapsulated in ice. There are different sea creatures, different animals that are encapsulated in ice that do not exist in the world that we live in now. They're frozen. They're there. They don't exist living, moving freely in the waters, in the wind, in the air, in the oxygen, as we do daily, and as the other ones do, as other animals do. That tells you a lot there. People say I ask questions and I answer it. Yes, I do, and I don't care. Why? Why are they there? And how did they get there? They were there before us. But what you guys miss, or what we miss, I'm going to say we, because I missed, is if this animal or being is completely engulfed and encapsulated in ice from top to bottom, and it weighs nearly a ton, and there's enough ice and water to have completely encapsulated this creature, animal, being, whatever you want to call it, it had to be submerged by something. Something had to happen. A shift. The temperature shifted. That being died amongst that shift. However, because of it being frozen, it did not decompose, and it was preserved in that ice. Look it up. It was preserved in that ice. So if that happened, what makes you think that another wave or another shift is going to happen? It's going to either be heat or extreme cold. They told us that in the Bible it's going to be fire. Before it was water. If we look at history, it was ice. We froze. The only thing that we don't know is how the change is going to come about, and most of us won't be here to experience, or we will not be here to experience that. We might be at the butt end of it, maybe, but our ancestors, but our lineage will be. But that change happened. That shift happened, and if that shift hadn't have happened, the things that we come to know of daily and that we are living in right now would have never happened, because it could have never happened without it. So what's next to come, we don't know. But the earth and the world is going to continue, and it's going to continue moving its purpose in divine order regardless. Take heed and take care of what we have right now. And know that those things are real. The shift is real. Things will change gradually. There's nothing we could do about it. All we can do is be better people and assure that our legacy lives on. And if there was a Bible then and they found it, if you got your literature, you write your name in history, and it will be found. But the shift is going to change. It's going to happen regardless. And you do see it. Don't pretend. And if you do not, I'm letting you know. The earth is warming up in different areas. Things are shifting. There's going to be major disasters coming. There are going to be major storms that we have never seen before. Period. They're going to happen. Hi, Jenny Boo Boo. My 20 Jen. Don't treat it as an abnormal thing. It's going to come, and just prepare. And carpe diem. And seize the day every day. Living your life, living your truth. Like I said, it ain't going to happen no time soon. But just know that we are living in a time where we are going to start seeing the beginnings of this major shift and this major change. Don't be afraid. Don't fret. Just be prepared. Everybody know? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. If I peace. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Also, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So, you said how? Yes, they're not letting the forest burn. They have contained most of it for the time being, and they might have even gotten it out. But a lot of times it has, during this time, it has reignited. But no, they're not just letting it burn. However, it is burning. And it's been on. The first duration was actually a full year and a half, where even with the insistence of it being put out, was still burning for a year and a half. Burning. Once they begin to get it more contained, there's a smaller area, but it does tend to, on our very scorching hot days, or the days where we get warm and they get really hot, it's so dry in that area, and there's no water reserves for it. It's constantly always getting caught on fire. This isn't the first time. Years ago, since the 70s, California has had those fires. I spoke with a gentleman who was 81, and he was recalling all of the times where he spent summers And when he walked out of his front door, it was never sunlight. It was a beautiful day, warm, supposed to be sunshiny, and as the news reports say or the weather forecast says. But he said every day I wake up and I go outside. This is in California, and when I would go outside, the sky would be orange and dark and black and blue. And he's like, it's because of the fires that are continuously burning. So the forest fires have been off and on for decades. If him since the 70s and even before that would wake up daily to forest fires, and that same as this same specific forest, the forest that provides 20% of the oxygen for the world, has constantly been a up and downhill battle to keep it from being engulfed and flamed and losing it, honestly. And y'all know last year I had a conspiracy theory, and I'm going to reiterate it again. It may not be factual, but you got to think about this. Those two forests, those two national parks, one in Canada and Washington. And then the forest in California, all been on fire, correct? While we have multiple, not just one, but multiple upper respiratory illnesses that have been making a major outbreak. You have RSV with the children, the babies. That is a respiratory virus. COVID, respiratory virus. Pneumonia and the flu. Pneumonia does not affect the upper respiratory, but it does affect your respiratory system and your lungs, because pneumonia is fluid in the lungs. The flu restricts breathing and normal bodily functions, sensitivity to light, inability to eat, fatigue, sore throat, sinus issues, and irritation. While our entire oxygen source is on fire, burning to the ground. We get our oxygen from plants and trees. They receive our carbon that we breathe out. So every time we breathe out, we feed them carbon. They breathe that in. They take that in. We're going to say breathe, but they take it in. And what they do is they emit oxygen to give to us to be able to breathe. It's a system. Oh, you do not respect that system, it gets fucked up. And it's a little fucked up. However, there are things that are happening that is beyond our control, which is the shift. Jade, you got anything you want to add? Huh? Okay. But yeah, let's get, give me some topics. Slap some topics out there. Corey, if you want, I can add you to my live if you like to chat. Let me see. I'm about to add you. While I add Corey, I'm going to play some music.
Oh, can anybody hear me?
Yeah, Corey.
Can anybody hear me?
I just had to turn my music on.
Did anybody hear me?
Can
What
you
do you
see me, love?
think about? What do you think about the transgender kids?
So what now?
What do you think about the issue with little boys and little girls wanting sex change operations, and they're saying they're thinking about making it lawful and legalizing it?
I don't really know nothing about that. Explain. Because I got my views.
'Cause,
I got my views on it, but I want you to explain what you're asking me or what is it that's going on. Because I'm not for or against it. So I'm going to just give you a more in-depth response to the specific question that you're trying to, or what it is that exactly is going on.
well, it's all over the place in the media. It started with Dwayne Wade, the basketball player,
Right.
and his wife Gabrielle
And his
Union.
son.
They wanted to get their kid a sex change operation. He's a 15-year-old boy who desired to become a woman, and he changed his name. He's undergoing the change now, with the hormone shots and stuff. And they said he's going to be a full op maybe in a few years, like getting the surgeries. But they're trying to like make that push it into society where if little boys and girls desire that, then and they would if fully then it should be endorsed rather than the parents turning against their children and saying, "Oh, you're crazy, you just get on out of my face." They're saying it should be like something like now things are more accepted in society. Like everything is becoming more accepted. Like even some of the bad things are becoming success. Whatever feels good to people is good. So if they want to do it, then they feel though they should be allowed to because hey, this feels good. This feels great. I don't care how immoral it is or how unrighteous. So it's sort of like that along
So
those lines.
how do
It's a
you?
lot of opinionation.
So how do you?
But
I'm gonna give you my answer because I want to think on that for a second. So, tell me what you think about it. What do you? What are your feelings?
Well, I believe that children are too immature and underdeveloped to be able to make serious decisions like that involves them. I believe that they should at least reach the age of 21, and then they would be mature enough to make I would say serious decisions involving their own personal lives. But since they're just kids, they shouldn't be allowed to do just whatever they want to do, especially when it comes to transgender issues like that.
Okay.
Because I'm sure, we all got kids, and then when our kids come to us and say, "Mommy, Daddy, I want to do this, I want to do that," and then if it's wrong, we'll say, "Hey, get on, get on. You're not doing that. That's bad for you. That's bad to you." Then they might be like, "Why, Mommy? Why, Daddy?" Because it is. I'm not letting you do that because it's wrong. It's stupid, and it's harmful. So, we know what's right. We feel we know what's right as adults,
Yeah.
and we know more than children because we came before them.
But we don't.
So
That's not necessarily true. But yes, I see where you. I understand that point. Yes, and I can understand why you would say that.
yeah, you agree with me on that. Well, that's the big deal now. Well, it's not just with the kids transgender thing. It's going off into something even like bigger. Like now it's really about children rights. Like in next they were talking about in certain countries that adults can marry little kids.
Yeah.
So it's all like
Let's stick on one topic. Let's stick on one topic.
what I'm saying. When you capitulate in one way, then it's not going to end. When adults don't stand firm to their decisions and they let children do whatever they want, then there's no end to it. Next, the kids are going to want to do something else crazy and irresponsible.
Right.
So parents and adults should stick to their guns and say no means no.
If
Just
that's
like
how they,
yes means
yeah,
yes.
if that's how they feel. So, because now you can't speak for that parent. You might feel like it might be that way, but that parent might be okay with it. So, if you're saying parents stick to their guns, then the parent might have a different view than you do as well.
But how do you feel about it? That whole
That's
situation.
what I was saying. I was like, let me think about it because I want to know what you really felt like. How were you okay with it? Were you against it? Like, and you basically said that basically at the ages of 15, you know, basically underage,
Mm-hmm.
that you feel like they should wait until, you know, instead of the parent allowing them to do that and go through that process, and
Yeah.
until they are old enough or mature enough to make that decision on their own or to be for or sure. Because you can make the
Yes.
decision and then want to change it. And now you've done this and you might say, well, this wasn't the life that I wanted to lead or anything. So I get that. Yes. Um, as far
Well, you
as
know, like sometimes kids might have, excuse me, kids might have lesbian parents, gay parents, and that's an influence
a
on
lot
them.
of times,
Like it's
a lot of times that doesn't influence the child. You want to know why? Because a lot of
why.
the times those children get picked on for their parents being of another sex or having another sexual preference, and that they gotta understand it's a sexual preference. Uh, and a lot of times they'll steer clear or steer away from that lifestyle, even if they really did feel in themselves like, hey, I really do like the same sex. Sometimes, a lot of the times, they'll steer clear of their own personal feelings simply because they want to be normal. Because we not me, because I I'm not I go both ways. So but people who don't understand will shun you. So then they choose.
But what is normal? What is normal in society? Like everybody, anybody can say this is normal, that is normal, but how is it? That don't necessarily make it right because it's
Exactly.
normal, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
What are your thoughts on it? You're a brain, so we all want to know what you feel about it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
I
uh,
mean, it's different from a son coming to his father saying, "Hey, Dad, I'm 15. Can I drink a beer with
mhm.
you?" Like I'm the type of person be like, "Yeah, son, there's no harm. You want to drink a beer with your dad? I think you're old enough." But on the other hand, what if the child comes to you and say, "Hey, I want to get a sex change operation"? You know,
Exactly.
how would a parent? Yeah,
Headache.
that's a
Are you,
more
are
serious
you
thing.
able to add people to view the live or share it?
Am I able to?
Yeah.
I'm not that techno savvy, but you can walk me
Oh, you
through it.
all right. It's like a little button that says invite people. If you can invite. So I'm just letting you know so you can let your friends know that you know you on here so they can watch you.
Oh, okay. It doesn't say I don't have a button that says that invite.
That's
I don't
fine.
see it, but
I
you
mean, you could
know
tag
it gets out
people or
there.
you could
'Cause,
do
this is on my page, so they're watching.
yeah, you could tag it or whatever you want or need to do. Now, as far as you said, the question of now, I want to clarify your question. You want my answer as far as how do I feel about them allowing their children to do it or about the
Yeah,
laws about it? Which one?
well, it's really like okay. I'll break it down some. I'll sum total it. What is the right age where you think someone is responsible enough to make crucial decisions in their life? You know, what age? I know sometimes a 14-year-old might be
More
as
mature.
advanced as a 19-year-old.
Absolutely.
I know because there are people that move out the house at 15 or 16 that run their own, right? So they're responsible that way, but you know, still the mind might be a little bit underdeveloped, you know. There's stages of development that we all must go to, and then once we reach that pinnacle, that prime stage, then we have everything we
Mm-hmm.
need, right? Yeah. Then we seek out more knowledge. And then just like you seek more knowledge, you know about rainforests, climate changes, global warming, right? Shifting of the tectonic plates and stuff. Like this stuff you seek out because your mind is at that level where it wants to know everything. But children, like they're only thinking about, bubble gum, video games and things like
It,
that, you know. So it's
it,
about
de- it
priorities,
depends on
right?
your household too. That it's not always true, but for the majority and the masses, I can agree. But that's not always completely true.
Mm. Depending on the okay. Some children, you mean, more are more mature than others, or the
Yes, not in
household.
their
It depends on the situation there. Like the father comes home and like it depends on like the conditioning, how they raise their kids and all of that,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just a serious issue there, but it doesn't end there. There's always like something to it, like something which led to it.
Hmm.
Like like everybody has their opinions. Everybody thinks they're right, but like if you have the right answer, like the perfect answer, people will like wake up and say, "Wow, yeah, this part you have a point. I agree with
Or
you." There's
question,
no denying
yeah, or
that.
an answer that just makes you think about it in another perspective. Yes, absolutely.
Exactly, exactly. But
But now, so
that's intriguing. I know it's people's business, but I'm
so
gonna ask you something
wait,
else.
so
Do you think the world is
wait.
ending?
So to answer that first question, you said, "How do I feel about it?" And then young ages. See, you stated, and I listen. You stated 21. You said
Uh-huh.
you don't think they should be able to make that decision until they're 21. I, I could
Okay.
I could say yes to that simply because they have raised a lot of the standards to the age of 21 to be able to do certain things. Like they changed the age to Jay. Tobacco is 21 now, correct? Yeah. So I want to make sure because we both worked at this.
Okay.
We both worked at smoke shop, so I wanted to make sure that I got a double answer. You got reaffirmation, and you can look it up yourself. So the age for smoking is 21. The age to get into the
Okay.
casino is what?
I believe
Exactly.
21, right?
So that is the age for you to be legally allowed to buy tobacco, alcohol, and go to the casino. However, 18 is the legal age of an adult.
Yeah. Yep.
So for those,
I know you're responsible for your own actions
yeah,
then.
so for those 3 years, do you think that someone who is 18 who can now go work a regular job, get their own apartment, even though they might not be able to buy liquor and tobacco, but we don't want them to do that anyways. But the other things that we want them to do, have a home, uh, a substantial income, car, all of those things can be attained at 18 because 18 is the legal age for those things. The only thing that has
Mm-hmm.
been put out of reach are casino, tobacco, and alcohol. These are things that cause addictions, overindulgences, and these are nothing that is beneficial to your adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
So these are
Mm-hmm.
all
Yep.
banned until you're 21. But at
Mm-hmm.
18, you do all of
Exactly.
the other things. So you are
Okay.
legally deemed an adult at 18. If a person is 18 and they're living alone in their own residence in their own home, paying their own bills, going to work, what you're saying is it should still be up to the parent until they're 21 to get that done or to have to make that choice. I don't know. I don't agree with that, no, because at 18 you're an adult. If you decide at 18 you
Well,
want that,
not I didn't mean necessarily leave it up to the parent, but just say put it where like they cannot go out and get any surgeries without being 21.
or
If they need
without being
ID
there,
and all
put it like
that,
this, they won't be able to get the surgeries without approval of a parent or legal guardian. You're gonna does that?
or something.
I think
Yeah,
that's kind of what you
yeah,
mean. Okay.
something like that.
Do I
Yeah.
feel is it okay for them to get that done um, with the permission of guardianship and before 18 or 21? No, I don't agree with that. And I'm not saying it in a
Okay.
bad way because I'm all for it. I support it. That's my line. That's my lane. However, I feel like you need to know yourself first. Yes, you know who you are, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, all those things. You're as at a young age, you do know those things, but you don't know all of those things. You are still
Mhm.
constantly learning. To this day, I'm 35 and I'm still learning things. So you will never
Okay.
know for sure or be finite in what it is that you do like or don't like, or what you want to change, or what you're willing to change, what you're willing to do, what you won't do. Now,
But
I don't think
do you think the media has like a great influence
no.
on society
Well,
as a
I was
whole?
cool.
Because people weren't thinking about that before the media.
I'm glad you said that. Hold on. I might have to restart this live because I need more people in here. Because this is a good topic.
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It's because it's like something like when things catch on and then like it spreads like wildfire. But is it good or bad?
yeah, yeah.
Like they say in the
Corey,
movies,
stop.
they make it
Corey,
popular for
stop.
men to
Hold on.
do it.
Hold on, Corey. I'm about to stop this live and restart another one so that we can change the topic on it so that we can get more people to join. I need you to share it so that people can tap in because this is a good topic.
Okay,
All right, so what I'm about to do
it's
is
all good.
I'm gonna restart it. You should be able to see when I start my live so you can ping in with me and I'm gonna add you and then I'm gonna send out my requests again. And if you're able to send out requests to join the live with us, go right ahead. If not, before you join the live, just share it first and then hop in with me.
All right.
So, because
All
this
right,
is,
lead it out.
huh?
Okay, lead it off.
Woo, you said lead it off.
Yeah,
What that
as
mean?
far as starting the topic
Oh yeah,
off.
we're going actually we're just going to continue on. So I'm going to do the caption on the topic, and I need you to share it. I'm gonna share it, and then I'm gonna add you back. So once I see you visible in the chat, I'm gonna add you back so that you could join, so that we can continue talking.
Okay,
But
that works for me.
but before I do that, I'm gonna have the live on for a couple minutes so you can add it and share it because I know it's quite a few people who might want to chime in, have some ideas about what we were talking about. This is a topic that has been brought up before, so I'm about to end it real quick right now, so I don't prolong it any longer. So y'all already know the motherfucker slogan: be elite, be lit, but most importantly, always be you. And we got Corey down here. We're about to bring him back in a minute to get in it on this topic. So I see y'all in a minute. Peace. I love you always, Katie.
Peace.
See you in a minute, Corey.